Sound check.
Hi, Dr. Dan here with another Voice Essentials vocal pit stop. And today I want to give you a little piece of, it's a reminder. You know, we're at the time, I don't know if you can see here, make out much here in Australia, we're in that sort of seasonal change right now. It's quite an overcast day, which I personally love. I love the colder months, the winter months, and it's true to say that if I lived in a colder climate, you know, not sunny Brisbane, Australia, then maybe I might not like winter as much, but here in Australia I really look forward to the colder months. But right now we're in that seasonal change where we're going from the warmer months into the cooler months. It's right now that I start to observe students, they start to get a little bit ill with the common cold and sometimes the flu. And so I'm always given at this time of year to reminding students to make sure they up their vitamin C levels by eating lots of fresh fruit and vegetables, or taking a vitamin C supplement. Make sure you're hydrating well. And you can do that through eating lots of soups and stews and keeping the whole system well hydrated. And then the other thing that I often encourage students to remember to do is always leave the house with a jumper or a cardigan. You might not walk out of the house wearing it, but have one on hand. And even for those of you who are living in the Northern Hemisphere, as we step into the warmer months, you can find yourself leaving the home and then you get that sudden cold change. And even though you expected it to be warm, suddenly now you're cold. And it's at that point that the body becomes susceptible to the cold and to flus. And so always try to leave the house prepared for any kind of weather, because at this time of the year, when we're moving from, well, depending on where you are, moving between seasons, we can find ourselves, you know, just being unprepared for those little seasonal changes. So I want you to remember that. Now, before we go, I've got a little surprise for you. And for those of you who live in Australia, this may not be a big deal for you, but I think for those of you who live in other parts of the world, this is kind of cool. Now, this little guy, well, he's not so little, he's about 2 meters long. He was in the neighbour's yard for about a week, and he's now been in our yard here in the Djarts forecourt for around about a week. And he is an Australian, I think he's a diamond-head python. He's relatively harmless. In fact, I'm quite happy to have him around because he takes care of rodents and all those sorts of things. I haven't named him because it'll be a week and he'll be gone. But I thought I'd give you some footage and show you the sort of wildlife. This is not an unusual thing, it must be said. We get these sorts of pythons all the time. But I thought I'd finish today's video by giving you a little bit of a look at him. I think he's quite cute. You may not think so. I do want to encourage, if this is the first time you've ever been here to Voice Essentials, we would love you to subscribe and join our ever-growing family of singers from across the globe who, just like you, want to raise their voice in song. We're a happy bunch, we're an encouraging bunch of singers, and we would love for you to subscribe and join our ever-growing community. My name is Dr. Dan. Sing well.
Sound check.